Hello everyone, welcome to SIUK India webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We are now live with the University of East Anglia. We have Lucille, Kevin, Andy, James, Alice, Emma, Arijit and Naveen with us today who will let us know more about this special webinar session. Please feel free to post all the questions in the chat box on the right. We will answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start. Over to you, Kevin, or I think Lucille will take over. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to our session from Norwich Business School, University of East Anglia. I'll introduce myself first. We have a number of people speaking today. So my name is Dr. Lucille Curtis. My role within Norwich Business School at University of East Anglia is the Director of Admissions, Marketing and Recruitment, and I'm also a lecturer in marketing within the school. So I would certainly teach on the MSc programme. So today we're going to give you a bit of an overview of the school. We're going to talk a little bit about why you might want to study business at University of East Anglia. We're going to talk about two key programmes. One is the Master's programme, the MSc, and the other is the Master of Business Administration, the MBA. We're going to talk a little bit about core modules, our delivery methods. We've also got a student here who has studied with us in the past, who will be able to share his experiences also. We'll talk about our delivery methods, some examples of the sort of careers that you might want to go into, and then of course ways to contact us. So a little bit here about Norwich Business School. We're a very large part of the University of East Anglia, here in the beautiful countryside of Norfolk and Norwich. We're less than an hour and a half away from London. So we have the beauty of a natural campus, as well as being very, very close to the city of Norwich and not too far at all from the city of London. We were founded in 1995. We're very well known internationally. We're the largest school in the social sciences faculty. We have over 90 academic staff. We have a lot of students, over 1,000 undergraduates and more than 400 postgraduate students. We have a lot of choice in terms of our master's programs, and I'll let the program directors go into detail there. We're also extremely committed to making sure that every student builds up those skills and knowledge so that they can basically develop their career or go into a career of their choice. And because of that, of course, we work very, very closely with lots of different businesses nationally, internationally, and that includes a lot of our courses being accredited by organisations such as the Chartered Institute of Marketing is just one example. There's lots more we could go into. So just to kind of encompass that in a little bit more depth of detail, you might be considering a lot of different universities at this moment in time. So there's just some more statistics here, which very much talks about why we are so special, why people choose us above other universities in the UK and across the globe. We're very, very well known internationally. We're ranked TEF Gold for teaching, which means we care very deeply about our research, but we also care very, very deeply about how we teach, what we teach, and how that teaching enables and empowers our students to go into the careers of their choice. So now I'm going to hand over to Dr. Kevin Williams, who is here with us this morning to talk about the MSc programme. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Lucille. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to you all. It's a great pleasure that you are here, and thank you for taking the time to be with us. Thank you for considering studying with us. If you've already submitted your application, that's great. And if you're thinking about submitting an application, we very much encourage you to do so. So I'm Kevin. I'm the new MSc Program Director. I've been very fortunate in my life to have quite a varied background in that I've worked in the public sector, the private sector, the higher education sector, and have set up and run a small business. I'm an experienced company director and currently a director of a company now. I also really believe in master's degrees. You might expect me to say that, but I actually, in my life, took 2 master's degrees. So for me, they are special, and I've committed my time and resources to them as well. That slide just stalled. Okay, so we have a very good range of master's degrees within the business school. So we have 16 master's degrees now. A point I would like to make is that master's degrees are not all the same, in that they will appeal to different people. And the main area is that some master's degrees allow you to transfer your knowledge from a different subject. So you may have studied engineering, you may have studied mathematics, and now you're thinking about your career, because that's what master's degrees really are about, aren't they? They're thinking about helping you build that successful career that you desire. You may have studied subject and now you want to come and study something to do with business because you see your future in business. Those master's degrees are there and they will welcome you with a wide range of undergraduate courses. So when you look on our website and look at a degree, particular masters, your entry requirements may give you the option to have a very wide range of previously studied subjects. We have people who have studied education, we have people who have studied English, literature. So some master's degrees are there for you to change in your subject. Other master's degrees are there to allow you to become more expert and more knowledgeable about a particular subject. So those master's degrees you can tell in the description, but also in the entry requirements. So quite often, if you want to become more expert, you'll need a degree in that subject as well. So we have lots of opportunities for you. We have lots of choices for you in our range of 16, and you can find the master's degree that will best suit you and best suit your career ambitions. Here's some of the examples of the courses. We have brilliant course leaders, and that's really important. And they have so much knowledge and experience of what they're teaching and the course that they're leading. As Lucille said, we work a lot with companies. So this morning, I also mentor business owners, and we had a catch up with the mentors involved in this program. All are very successful business leaders, and we were talking about some companies and they're coming up with solutions to help them find it. That sort of knowledge and experience is what all our course leaders bring through all their lifetime working and studying and research into their courses. You'll have a range of options in terms of learning. So we want to make your experience with us as good as we can. And we want to allow you to study in ways you can. So you'll find that different courses, different modules have different forms of activity, and you'll hear from Arijit and you'll hear from James about those 2 particular MSCs. So we want to make it a rich experience, and it's all about this purpose. What is the purpose of the master's degree? And that purpose is to get you, to help you to get where you want to be in your career. So there'll be, of course, you'll learn theory. If we want to build a better car engine, we need to understand the theory of engines. If we want to build a better business, you need to understand the theory of business. But a lot of it will be applied, and a lot of it, and the learning and the assessment will give you a chance to practice and to walk the talk, to show that you can learn and take this knowledge forward. There's compulsory activities within the master's degree, but of course there's also optional activities, things like a networking club that Lucille mentioned, chartered management. Arajit will talk about opportunities in his degree. So it's really to give you a rich experience which allows you to do the masters and be successful for your future career. So typically, all our courses are one year. Typically, they have an introduction module, some introductory modules in semester one, which allows you to understand all the things you need for later in the course, but also allows you, from people from different backgrounds, to get their knowledge to a similar position. And then there'll be in semester two, you will have the opportunity, usually around optional modules, to become more specialized. So it gives you a chance in semester one to work out what you particularly are interested in your degree, and then maybe to choose different options in semester two. And then depending upon the third semester, depending upon the master's degree that you're on, you have the chance, some of you do a dissertation, because we know some students really like a dissertation and other students really don't like a dissertation, and so they'll take degrees where there's a chance to have more taught modules, and it's a really exciting time. It's a really exciting course. As we talked about there, it's about your future. We are focused on your future. We've created these courses to think about your future, and so there'll be lots of people, opportunities to meet with people, guest speakers coming in, and to visit local business. Andy will talk about those. That's really important and part of what we're doing. And it's really focused on where you want to get to. There's some examples of the companies. And when I look at our alumni, often students connect with me in LinkedIn and I see what they're doing in the future. It is absolutely breathtaking how fantastic and successful that they are and what they go on to achieve in their careers. And I'm very proud that we've helped them to do that. Here's an example of Tom, who we did the MSc Marketing in 2018. And if you look, you can look him up on LinkedIn, and you'll see he's gone on to do amazing things in some very exciting parts of marketing and new methods of marketing and digital marketing. Very exciting, and we've helped him to get where he wants to be in that. It's we're very proud of all our alumni. And the point here is to mention that, of course, we do have some scholarships. So we have the Better Business Scholarship, which we hope will encourage you to look. Entry requirements: some of our courses have 2-1, some of them have asked for a 2-2, and you've just missed the early bird deadline, but nonetheless, you can apply for the final deadline for our MSc Better Business Scholarship. And that's what we've done. And I'm going to, on that point, just to reiterate, thank you for taking this time. Thank you for considering us and for applying. And I'm going to pass on to Emma, who's going to introduce herself a bit more.
We can't hear you, Emma.
My mute button isn't on.
Can hear you now.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Emma, Emma van Haaren, and I work in the Norwich Business School along with Kevin, and have overview of all of the courses on our portfolio. And as Kevin said, all of the courses are very different for different types of people. And my role is to bring you all together and to help you with enjoy a really special student experience. So I'm not on the teaching staff. I'm here for your social and pastoral experiences, and I organise trips for you, events for you to get to know each other and to get to know Norwich and East Anglia a little bit more. We also go down to London at Christmas and get to know London a little bit more. And I also look after any of the concerns that you have. If you have worries about well, about anything at all, I am the person you come to, and I can signpost you to where you have to go. I liaise with your personal advisors. Every one of you here who comes to Norwich Business School will have a personal advisor. And I also organise extra additional teaching support for you if you need it. So for dissertations, we have workshops for you with our learning enhancement team. We have lots of CV workshops with our careers service. We have lots of library tours and library help with our library, and so on. So I'm really your base point, and I will be with you throughout your journey and make that 1 year that you have with us really special. And we'll keep in touch afterwards as well. I'm going to hand over to Arijit, who's our course leader for the MSc Operations and Business Management.
Hi, everybody. My name is Arijit Bhattacharya, and thanks, Emma, for handing over to me. Now, well, thanks, Kevin and Lucille, in regard to their presentation for the MSc Task courses. Now, well, I'm the course leader for MSc Operations and Logistics Management. And well, my background is basically engineering, and I worked in manufacturing and service sector for many years. And I have been into research for the last 22 years. And well, I take part in various journals. I write articles. I act as a guest editor in top tier journals as well. Anyway, so let me come back to the course. So yes, this course talks about something which is already known to everybody, which is required by every business in our daily life. Now, what is the meaning of this course, MSc Operations and Logistics Management? We manufacture a certain product in order to cater the needs of people, right, end user. And well, or sometimes we are equipped to create certain services as well. So some companies do both the things together, product and service creation. So in order to do that, we need certain things which are known as labor, material, machine, method, and money. So labor means, well, the manpower or contingent labor. So basically, we use 5M, man, machine, material, method, money to get any kind of service or any kind of product or both. So in this course, we'll be focusing on a number of things together. One is how to supply the raw materials or how to supply the knowledge to the manufacturer or the service creator, how to deal with the procurement, how to deal with the manufacturing or service creation, and then come up with the product or service. So what are the different modes of getting inventory from one point to another point? It may be service inventory, it may be invisible service inventory, or the visible or tangible product inventory, how we distribute service or how we distribute product. So these are known as logistics operations, right, along with the transportation element. So, well, these things will be dealt with in this particular course. Now, what you can expect from this course. Now, this is an academic course, definitely, but it has got many pragmatic implications. For example, this course will broaden your views. It will enable you to see problems from every perspective, every business perspective. The course will enable you to solve complex problem, real world complex problem of logistics operations from various aspects. Now, we have got a range of pragmatic modules focusing on the logistics operations and activities. And the course will focus on both manufacturing and service organizations, as I told you before. We engage simulations in some of our modules to capture the real world situations. And this year we'll be engaging more. And during teaching, we have got sessions to improve your case analysis and presentation skill. In particular, I'm teaching on MSc Global Logistics Management. Over there, I ask everybody to take part into case analysis and present something on one day. And this happens every week, basically, more or less every week. So, and I'm sure that other module organizers are doing the same thing for their modules. And another important thing that you'll be getting here from this module is you will be able to identify the gaps in the domain of logistics and supply chain operations. And you will be, at the end of your course, you will be able to fill these gaps by conducting a research. In the third semester, you have got an opportunity to conduct your own original piece of research, explore a question that you are passionate about, and contribute to the latest thinking in the field. Now, this course has been accredited by two professional bodies. One is called the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. The other one is CILT. The other one is CIPS, Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply. So you'll be able to speak to the professionals from these two professional bodies. So we invite them to provide sufficient knowledge to our students, and well, they have got student membership, CIPS particularly, they have got student membership. So through student membership, you will be able to get their database as well. Now, what are the different modules we have? We have got 3 semesters here. In semester 1, we have a couple of modules. In semester 2, we have got some modules. And in semester 3, we have got 1 module. So in semester 1, we have 1 module called Marketing Theory and Practice. And the next one is Global Logistics Management, which is taught by me. And we have got another module called Strategic Operations and Supply Management. We have got one module called Business Research Method, which will be continued till your second semester. So, and we have got one module which is called Postgraduate Dissertation, which will be in your 3rd semester. But in 2nd semester, you have got you are equipped to identify 2 modules from, I mean, these are basically optional modules, but well, you are equipped to identify 2 modules among three of them. So one of them is Strategic Sourcing and Supply Chain Management. It focuses on procurement, supplier relationship, vendor management. So all these logistics operations on the part of sourcing is focused here. And Professor Andrew Fern teaches on this module, and he has got extensive database. So he is linked with pragmatic research. So you will be getting many information, many case studies. You will be getting many clues how to do analysis with real world data from this module. And other 2 modules are Innovation and Technology Management and Digital Policy for Business. So you are equipped to identify 2 of them. Now, assessment. So what are the different types of assessment we have? Now, well, we do not have any examination here. We have got coursework. So it may be individual coursework, it may be group coursework, it may be written assignment or presentation, and in-class test maybe. Okay, and well, and we have got the last bit of assessment, which is called dissertation. So this is one of the written assignment based on your individual research. So this is all about MSc Operations and Logistics Management. Thank you. So can I hand over to James next?
Hi there, hopefully you can hear me. So that should be good. Okay. So I'm not the course leader for Business Analytics and Management, but I was involved in developing the course and I teach on the course. So I'm representing the course here. And I think the course is built around the kind of key things to think about in considering the course is that it's built around the idea of the data revolution, the information revolution in business. But it's built around, it has a particular perspective on that. So we often say that information, which is what organizations need in order to make great decisions, in order to choose their markets, in order to decide where to invest, in order to decide who to employ, information is data in context. So we need not just to have the data, but we need to have the context and meaning around the data. And that's what this course is really about. So we're concerned to look at the whole information life cycle, from data, where it comes from, how it's created, how it's managed and stored, right the way through to decision making. So we would focus, for example, on data strategy, so the strategic aspect of data and information in the business. We're concerned with problem formation. So, sometimes people suggest in a way that we should just let the data speak for itself. But mostly in business, we actually want to query, to question the data. We want to use the data to solve a problem. And the first stage in that process is formulating problems. So problem formulation is a kind of key skill that you'll develop as part of the program. Data is a very complex and difficult kind of resource to manage. It can be enormously valuable. It's often very difficult to capture. It's difficult to store. It's difficult to integrate and bring together. So an important part of the course is learning what we might call informational data engineering. So how we gather and capture information, how we store it, how we make it available to decision makers, to analysts in data lakes and data warehouses and data marts, so these kinds of concepts. Of course, at the heart of business analytics is the analytical process, so we don't ignore that. We do teach basic data science kind of concepts and ideas. We look at different kinds of analysis, from simple descriptive analysis through the kind of diagnostic work, trying to work out what the root of problems is, what the essence of business problems is, through to prediction and even in some cases prescription, full automation of processes using data. So we do have a data science component to the degree, but we cover a much wider body of knowledge. We put that into some kind of context. Obviously, once we have our analysis, we need to feed that into the decision-making process. And today, that's often very much about the visualization of data, presentation of data as tables and as numbers, but also as pictures. And probably the most important issue, really, which is what's sometimes called data storytelling, or providing a narrative. So making sure that when we feed the results of analysis back into the organization, they make sense to the users of that information, whether that's customers, whether that's managers, whether that's professionals, operatives, suppliers. So data storytelling is a kind of key part of the program. And then I think there are two more elements that are important to mention. So one is that data and information need to be managed. There's an increasing body of data law that we need to be aware of. So in Europe, we have the GDPR, the Global Data Protection Regulation. There are similar regulations in other jurisdictions. We need to recognize things like copyright law and so on. So in the organization, we need to have a governance structure for information and data, and we will look at data governance as a topic. So that's, as it were, the control of the information lifecycle in the business. And we also need to resource that process. So we will look at how the technical and human resources that underpin information and data management, analytics, visualization, storytelling, and so on, can be secured and put in place. So as a degree program, we try to cover quite a wide territory in an integrated way. But I think the thing to remember is that the degree is built around the idea of adding value to data by putting data into context to create information to support decision-making in the business. Last thing I'm going to say before I hand over to Andy is that the program was developed really in response to business needs. So we had businesses that were coming to us and saying, we need people who are more information and data savvy. We need people who understand information and data processes, the technologies that support them, the legal context in which they operate, how people interact with information and data. And we said, do you mean you want data scientists? And they said, no, we know where to get data scientists. We understand that. We would look to computer science, and our computer science department has a great data science course, so you could apply for that if you want to be a data scientist. They said what we want are people who can talk to data scientists and can also talk to managers and other people in the business. So what we want is people who can hire and direct data scientists, who can create problems for data scientists to solve, and who can then communicate the results of those solutions back into the business. So that's what our business analytics and management program, that's why it's business analytics and management, because it's about putting analysis into the management process. So it was built to meet an expressed business demand. Okay, can I hand on to Andy?
Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. So I'm here to talk about the MBA program, and I'm delighted to be joined by Naveen and Rosna, who are two of our alumni from 2018-19, that kind of area, and also two of our alumni ambassadors as well. So welcome to Rosna and Naveen. Altogether different. So from the outset, we've designed a program that we believe is different, and it's designed really to tune into what students want, what postgraduate, post-experience want from their study. Many have undergraduate qualifications, MSc qualifications, PhD qualifications even. And we've designed a program that fits around you. So it is focused on you. It starts at the beginning. So we're not that interested in GMAT scores, that evaluative part of that tests your thinking in an evaluative way. We spend time with each individual because it's very important to us that the right individuals find us, and there's a good fit between the individual student, what they want from us, what they're able to give us in terms of their experience and the value that they give to other people on the course. And we do that by spending time through an interview. It's an interview with a member of the teaching team who's hugely experienced. And we make our offers, and particularly our scholarship offers, based on that idea of fit. The questions are evaluative by nature. We ask you about your work experience. What does it mean for you? What have you learned? What would you do differently? What would you do if you was a CEO? What would you do if you was a consultant? So that puts you in a position where we've got all of that information, but it's far more personal. And it's about getting to know the human being, really, and understanding the human being first and developing on from that to make you great leaders in the future. And that's a two-way thing. It's also an opportunity for you to get to know us. It's a year of your life. You'll have high levels of exposure to the teaching team. You know, we're very accessible. We're in the corridor, you know, just 15 feet, if you like, from where the MBA lecture suite is. So it's important that that fit is comfortable for you and also comfortable for us. We also recruit globally. So there are students every year from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, from North South America, also from the UK. I guess we could term ourselves as Europe, but so to make sure we have that diverse experience, we really work hard to bring that diversity to us through our marketing campaigns and so on. It's very much an experience-based MBA. So it's not just about the academic assignments, it's also about what you do and the experiences that you go through that offer you that opportunity for deeper learning. That's deeper learning about yourself, about how you handle pressure, about how you handle different emotions, about how you handle different pressures within the team, from a client, from exposure to senior managers in business, how you present yourself. A lot of the interventions we present to you in terms of team and leadership development, which I'll talk about a bit later on, you know, challenge you in ways that enable you to learn about yourself in a safe environment and develop those skills and that self-awareness that set you apart from other MBA graduates and set you apart as exceptional leaders in the future. We go out into businesses in the UK, both regionally and in London, which I'll talk about a bit later. We offer you choice. So it's a very personalized experience, choice from 3 options. and hopefully they fit with our values in terms of responsible business. You can see there within the slide. It is about employability. So it is about us helping you to put yourself in the best position to find the best job that you want. But this is more than that. It's also about career agility. So our careers impact support is about getting you in a position where you can manage, control, develop, and make the most of your career to suit you. Now, whether that's about life choices as well as career choices, we're happy to work with you on any level. The picture that you can see on this particular slide is from two of our cohort from 2014. So Alex Watson worked in the water industry. He's now a consultant working in the Cambridge cluster. Pim Syuk came to us from Thailand. Her family sent her with an expectation that she was going to take over the family farm. She used a year to really think about what she wanted, life-wise as well as career-wise, and she was able to secure a graduate management training scheme, which sent her all the way around the world for a logistics company, working in the top ports throughout the world. And at the end of that 2-year period, she sat down with the company and they had a discussion about where they saw her potential fitting and where she wanted to work, you know, not only regionally, but also the type of work that she wanted to do. So there's a big life change there as well. So it's not just about the job side of it, it's deeper than that. September start, it's a 12-month program. We are AMBER accredited, which does place us in the top 2% of business schools around the world. And I'm very proud to say the last 2 accreditations that we've been through in 2015, 2020, both times we've been awarded the maximum 5-year accreditation period, which means we have sustained evidence and validation of the exceptional quality of experience that we deliver on our MBA program. So that's over a 10-year period. We now have the top AMBER accreditation award. Just moving on to the next slide, you can see some of the diversity that we have. Just taking this over a 5-year period. So these are some of the guys that you'd be working with. Average age is around 32, varies slightly, but this is typical. In terms of equality and diversity, in terms of the gender split, you can see it's even, and that's typical every year. And I'm sure the guys from 2019 will be able to kind of validate me on that. Variety of backgrounds as well. The map that you can see on the screen really is just to highlight the fact that this is a truly global network that you'll be buying into. So the alumni are in every area of the world. We really encourage that relationship with the alumni. You have an alumni mentor, which will be given to you around 6 weeks after you start the course. And that's really so that I can get the chance to know you, to talk to you, and to find the best fit, the person that I think can help you mostly in terms of who you are, where you want to develop, and what you want from your career and your MBA program. We put you in contact with that mentor, and that mentor is responsible for helping you not only through the program, but giving you advice on you know, career development and employability after you've finished that. So it's a lifelong friendship. Hopefully that's our aspiration. So Naveen and Rosna are 2 of our alumni mentors that are on the call. You're welcome to talk to them after I've finished talking as well. And we often hear about alumni kind of hooking up. So if you're traveling internationally as part of your work, we hear this story again and again, where they've looked on LinkedIn, found an MBA or even an MBS alumni that's in the city that they're going to. They'll contact them, they'll give them advice, and it really is a vibrant and active community that really do continue to help each other. Lots of those stories we don't know about, and that's exactly as it should be. You know, this is something that is organic, and it just continues to support itself after your studies. It's our job to set it up, to get the connections going and to make it happen, and also to find the right people, you know, for the program. Student-centered learning, individual support I've spoken about. We do cap our numbers at 35. Okay, so this is an important point because we really believe that everyone should have their voice. Everyone should have their opportunity to tell their story, to share their experiences. It's a wholly inclusive experience that we're looking for. And we don't believe that you can do that when you move to higher volume numbers as much. Everyone comes to this program with 3 years management level work experience. That's a requirement of AMBER. And so we really need those stories in the room, because it's that richness of stories and it's sharing those stories that really bonds the group together and builds that strong cohort that's going to continue to support itself after study. We have a high proportion of international students. So we have 8 3-hour sessions, which we call a transition program. So wherever you are from in the world, whatever your qualifications, whichever sector level of qualification that you have, you need to learn about the UK higher education regulations and the way that we want work presented, so that we invest in you by taking 27 hours of your time to talk you through and to teach you how to write good papers at master's level in a UK higher education institution. The academic skills development, we want to get that out the way early so that you can really make the most of your learning. You're not worried about how to reference, how to paraphrase, or how to write your paragraphs. You can really concentrate on the richness and the depth of learning by what's being discussed in the room. And you can really immerse yourself in those discussions and be central to those discussions. Lanry, you can see on the slide there. So Lanry's from Lagos. He came to us as a barrister. He wanted a complete career change. So he's now set up, I think it's 2 entrepreneurial businesses in Lagos, based on what he developed in terms of his thinking, his ideas. He tested his ideas through the entrepreneurial module, came up with what were the best ideas for him, went back to his hometown, and he's now an entrepreneur in his own right in his hometown in Nigeria. We've made some changes to the MBA this time round. We've brought together operations management, digital systems, because we believe that those two now are closely linked. Global economics and strategy, again, we've brought those two together because we think that's the most contemporary way of delivering that particular subject. Marketing and customer focus, we used to have 2 separate modules on marketing and digital marketing, but it's now common practice. Things have moved on. We need to keep the program contemporary. So again, we've designed it with that in mind. The professional and careers impact is a module that's new for 2022. We used to do these kind of activities outside of the modules. We now believe it's a core part of our offer for MBA students, and it's something that Amber have recognised as Norwich Business School being exceptional in the MBA marketplace in how much help and how effective the help is that we give to people to develop their professional leadership competencies and to help them with their careers. The choices I've spoken about, and they very much fit with our values in terms of responsible business, in terms of looking at brand leadership, sustainable management, entrepreneurship, and economics and finance, and will help you make the right choice for you. So again, that decision is made after you've been with us for about 10 weeks, when we get to know you, what your aspirations are, you talk to your advisor, you talk to your alumni mentor, and then when we feel you're in a position to make a good decision for you is when we'll ask for that information. The consultancy projects, so there's 2 consultancy experiences. The first is a group project in the UK. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but just to say that these are real problems for businesses. They're live case studies. They're not anything that's been set up by the business school to enable you to get a mark. They're using our business community networks. They're real businesses that have real problems that they need your help with. We support that by putting you through a 2-day team building residential experience, which is done in the countryside in Norfolk, where we'll put you through team building activities with feedback, leadership feedback, team dynamic feedback. It's done by a professional consultancy business that do this all over the world, to really develop your competencies and self-awareness as an individual, as a team, so you start to perform at a high level when you meet your clients. The second project is something that's new to the program, in terms of we've tried to offer a bit more flexibility. In the second project will be individual. It can be going back to your previous organisation and doing a piece of work for them as a consultant. We have some students that have gone back to their previous organisation and presented their ideas from what they've learned on their MBA and gone back into a more senior position, for an example. Can be an aspirational organisation that you're really thinking about working for, particularly in the consultancy arena, for example, or a global corporation, or it can be philanthropic, again, fitting with our values of responsible business. And we'll help you with that, with support by mentoring and advising you through that. Can be also UK or international, which is a new move on the course. So it helps an international cohort really to push that agenda for us. Regionally, we'll take you to some of the high-profile organisations in the southeast region. So Adnams in Southwold, again, they have a responsible business model that runs all the way through their business, and they have national and international recognition for the way that they run their brewing business and how they've really changed and challenged traditional business models and turned it into something that really is acceptable in the way they treat their people, in the way that they look after the environment. They have such a strong reputation. The CEO of Adnams is also a member of the teaching team. You'll meet him, you'll meet the staff, you'll meet the management team, and so on and so on. The other real big change from this particular slide is we'll be going to Lotus as part of the operations management module. We'll meet the senior management team. You'll be given the Lotus challenge. So the MBA students will be given a challenge by Lotus, which is a luxury car manufacturer. They align themselves with Ferrari, Maserati, and so on, Porsche. They're just local to us. So you'll be given a challenge, and you'll be given maybe 10, 12 days to present your ideas to fix the business's challenge, really. And then you'll meet the senior management team and present your findings back to the senior management team. So again, this is real and deep learning that we're trying to deliver for you. We do go to London for 3 days in the summer. We'll go to some tourist locations and you'll experience the organisation as a tourist, but we also ensure that everywhere that we go, you will meet a member or the senior management team themselves, and they will talk to you about the issues and challenges of running that business. In the past, we've been to the Houses of Commons, we've met the MP for Norwich and South East. We've also been to Bloomberg. We'll be going to Bloomberg next year. So their building, the architecture of the building is created to be a very vibrant, flexible, and it's a digital way of working. We also get some instruction on how to use the terminals. We go to the Shard. You'll experience the Shard as a consumer, if you like, but you'll also meet the CEO or members of the senior management team, and they'll talk to you about the challenges of running that kind of business. We'll go to the Olympic Park, and again, we'll meet senior members of the management team that will talk to you about the challenges of resourcing such a business. So you've got the football stadium there. You've also got other events, music events, athletic events, and so on. But how do you run that business? How do you resource it? Where's your strategic position amongst your competitors? Do you collaborate and compete? So there's some real innovative ways that business model works in the heart of the city. And we'll also give you time to explore the city. Again, it's important for us that we present a platform for you to develop relationships that will last far longer than the course itself. So there is time for you guys to go around London and explore it together as a cohort that develop those relationships that enable you to be a strong alumni support network globally. On this slide, these are some of the activities that you'll go through in terms of developing leaders, which is part of that careers impact module that I talked about. Some of these are delivered from our alumni who now are very successful executive managers in their own right, and they'll come back to talk to you. It's very much experience based. Some of the outcomes of this, so I'll start on the right hand corner. So Diego, following his consultancy project, got a job working for a business in the research park in Norwich. Sandeepa, top left, so Diego's from Italy. Sandeepa, top right, from Sri Lanka. He was a consultant who worked for SAP, did a lot of work for Burberry in London before he came to us to work on his MBA, but he's now set up his own business in the Cambridge cluster as an entrepreneur in his own right. Moving to the bottom left, so Gunjan was a business analyst working in India. She now works for an education technology business in Norwich. So she's managed to stay in Norwich. She loves Norwich so much. Her and her family now live in Norwich and work in Norwich as well. So Anu was a consultant for Tata Consultancy in India when she arrived with us. And again, she's achieved permanent employment through an internship that turned into permanent employment based on her high performance with a high growth tech startup. And on the top left, Rosna, who's on the call today. Well, we were so impressed with Rosna that we offered her an internship when she finished the course, Norwich Business School. So Rosna did a strategic review of our marketing, and particularly our digital marketing campaign. I think, Rosna, I'm right in saying that you used to work for Hiscox, which is a Microsoft subsidiary, as a digital analyst, business analyst. And that piece of work is then fed into our strategic development plans. So thank you very much, Rosner, because a few years down the line and that work's still being talked about. So fantastic stuff. A few quotes, and it's just to highlight the fact that this is a deeper learning experience. It's something that you have to invest a lot in. It's not just about the money, it's about your time, it's about working away from career, from life, from family and everything else. You need to make the right decision for you, and we work very hard to make sure that we deliver on that. We're aware of what you're giving up for this. We want people who fully commit to this and are ready for an immersive experience, and they want to be central not only to their learning but to other people's learning. It's very much a community that we're trying to develop here. So you can see Sergit from Ernst & Young. He's now a senior consultant again. He works with us as a mentor, an alumni mentor. And also Alice, who's a senior administration manager for Deloitte in Hong Kong. Similar story there. So, and just to finish before I hand over, I'm happy to invite Rosner and Naveen to comment. It is very much about a family. I think that probably is an overused word in the marketplace, but because of the small cohorts, the way we interact with the cohorts, the way we support the cohorts, the alumni network, you know, we do stay in touch. And this picture was taken 5 years ago, 2017. So working from right to left, Rassem has stayed with us. So Rassem is just completing his PhD. Where are we? Michelle. So Michelle moved from Hong Kong to the Maldives. She changed complete career pivot, went into the leisure industry. So she now works in the leisure industry in the Maldives. Danny is a recruitment consultant in Shanghai. Alex is a consultant for PwC in London. Maz actually got a job for the company that he did his consultancy project with in the UK. Mark is a consultant for Accenture in London. Cynthia was from Lagos in Nigeria. She now works in New York for one of the biggest banks in New York. Kiriaki is a general in the Thai military. Guzyala and Iman, Saudi Arabia and Kazakhstan, they've stayed. They're in London. They're working on their businesses in London. Rachel and Lloyd went back to Australia, where they both work in the oil and gas industry. And it is a family. So Rachel and Lloyd just got married. They have a child. They're coming back to Norfolk to celebrate their wedding at the end of July. Guzyala, Iman, Alex and Mark, myself and Ellie, who is the MBA coordinator, are going to meet up at the wedding. So we don't just, promote this stuff as being rhetoric. This really does happen. It's evidence-based, and we work really hard to make sure it happens, and we will continue to do that in the future. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Andy. Do you want to stop sharing your screen?
Yeah, I will do. I don't know if Rosner or Naveen want to come on and just comment on anything I've said, but that's if they're still around.
So yeah, I'm there. Hi,
Hi, Rosner.
It's nice to see you all. It brings back me the memories of 2019 that I had. So what I would like to tell, everything. So I'm not being paid to say this. It's my personal experience. So the MBA. So I have a background of data analytics and BI, and why MBA was when I started talking to management people of the company to solve business problems. As James had said, there's always a disconnect between the tech and the management. So they usually don't understand each other's communication. That's when I came to know I need an MBA degree, or especially a degree that allows me to communicate in their language. So MBA program, I had operations, I had HR, I had strategy, I had everything that is required to run a business, so that I can talk to them in their perspective. Once I completed it, that's when I kind of merged my previous experience and things that I've learned from MBA to have this information and then use all my MBA knowledge that I have to build a recommendation that is truly for the business, and just not that is something that is a benchmark or somebody else does it. The recommendations were actually for the businesses that would help them. And then, so I still use certain things that I've learned from MBA, and it rings the bell, as Kevin said, what's the purpose of my business? every day there used to be a slide in the end which says, what is the purpose? What's your purpose? So that's how I answer each and every question that businesses has nowadays. Um, Given the program itself, it was one of the best version of myself. As I said, it's not something that you are turning you into something that you're not, or rather turning a better version of yourself. So it's just me, but an optimized version of me rather. I had the best time management skills because a 2-year program crunched into one. You were basically having a 9 to 5 class with all the courseworks. And also I was doing a part-time job during that time to take care of the expenses that were there in UK. So yeah, I had to be the best version of myself, health-wise, physically, mentally, as well as on my organizational skills to, ace and actually get a distinction for the MBA program. So it challenges you to be the best version of yourself. That's one thing. Second thing is, still today, I would still use certain things that I have learned through my program, and then apply it on my personal life as well. And then I'm still in touch with most of my cohorts in MBA. Naveen, hi, it's nice to see your face. And yeah, and I still use the golden thread, Andy, the golden thread of alumni, and talk to them, talk about their experiences. If I want to get to know about a company or get to know about a certain domain, I would really just get in touch with them and I ask them, like, see, this is my problem. How would I solve it? And they would usually come up with an answer within no time. So I'm the person who exploit the golden thread and still in touch with the network people. I still have one of the best friends, as I said, as Andy says, we still have that family, the feeling of family. I still talk to my friends who are, we haven't met each other personally due to lockdowns and COVID, but then we are still in touch through WhatsApp or through whichever platform we could get in touch with. So yeah, I guess it's been one of the best years of my life. And I still benchmark myself to the Rosna that has been in 2019. So in not lesser than that. So that's how MBA program has truly influenced me. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Rosna. And if we have time, I would also like to add the other end of the program, so basically, my name is Naveen. So I work as a manager HR for a US-based IT product company. So I had the shared services program for across 6 continents. So so typically I use all the applications or techniques that has been used taught throughout the MBA in my everyday application mostly. But also I would like to touch upon 3 things. So first thing is before even MBA I was under fear. How would I go back to academic and start learning? So basically I had a huge gap between my undergraduation and post-graduation, but the assimilation program or orientation week really helped us clear all the doubts, because it is thought through in such a way that you get gelled into the course. And the second point is that the course module, not just the modules that Andy talked about, but the way it is designed is to balance the highs and lows, so that you can, as an individual, can balance everything, because in a day-to-day career you are supposed to manage the highs and lows. So that's how the course itself is being designed. And third thing is not just outside of academic, but within the course itself, you are given an opportunity, like Andy mentioned, the safe environment, to try out just not just learning this academic technique, but also to apply those techniques, and to via consultancy project. And also you will be working with diverse people across world, managing diverse problems, not just people just, but diverse problem, diverse gender, diverse in skill set, etc. So those things really help you towards your career once you step out of UA. And definitely that has been turning point for me. And you can go ahead and read a blog about myself, that how it helped during the one of the residential program that we had. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much. I'm a little bit conscious of time, so I don't know if anybody wants to add anything. I think we've managed to pretty much get through the majority of questions by return typing on those. There was a lot of varied questions, so thank you very, very much indeed for those people who are watching and listening to this. I think we have covered most there, but does anybody want to add anything? Kevin and Andy in particular, in terms of following up with any further information.
Just to add, if you would like further information, if you have questions, then do contact Emma. That would be fantastic, and we very much welcome your applications. I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very, very much. Emma has very kindly put her email address in the chat. So it's obviously Emma van Haaren at Norwich Business School, University of East Anglia. So that just leaves me to say thank you very, very much indeed for listening, watching, tuning in. Thank you very much to our alumni for joining this session, and thank you enormously to our programme directors, ex and current course leaders, and Emma and Alice. Thank you very, very much indeed, and have an enjoyable rest of day and week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.